No, I'm not going to say that I was horny for a speaker.
Boom.
I mean,
thank you. Got it.
No, I mean, that's not, I said the opposite. I'm not horny for a speaker. Am I thrilled to get it? Yes.
Got it.
I do.
Right.
I do have a little bit of wood right now. I will admit that.
Okay. And you thank you, the man who keeps on giving.
This is the Greg Cote Show with Greg Cote.
Pardon it.
Here's your host, Greg Cote.
My age group invented the headphone, I think, because I remember back in the early 70s, if you were listening to a new album like Pink Floyd or something with a real sonic quality to it, you put on headphones, you sat in a dark room, you turned the record on to some volume, and you just zoned out and you drifted away. It was great.
The man who invented the concept behind the modern headphone was named Nathaniel Baldwin. He made a headset that could amplify sound by hand in his kitchen in 1910. So that checks.
It's Alec Baldwin. Yeah, that's Alec Baldwin's grandfather.
No way.
Why are you laughing, Eddie?
It makes sense. That's
I'm
why
laughing at his pencil mustache that he's got.
Pencil thin mustache. Great Jimmy Buffett song. God rest his soul. Speaking of God rest his soul, anybody else affected by the death of Brian Wilson, the co-founder of the Beach Boys?
Yes, not as much as I'll be when McCartney passes, but yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm more of a McCartney guy than a Wilson guy. But
I'm down to play the game of celebrity that's still alive that will hit you the hardest. I know my dad's is Elton John.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Elton John is going to rank up there with Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm barely exaggerating. I think, Christopher, you know that I'm being truthful. I will not control my emotions when I find out that he's passed away.
Right.
That will be tough on me.
I'm trying to think, like, it's one of those things where they're the two sports like celebrity deaths that really stick out to me the most were just because they were young. Like, it was like horrible because it was random. It was Jose Fernandez and Kobe Bryant. Like, those two are like, that's where I go with like the deaths of celebrities that I've like been most affected by, just because of like the shock and how close like Jose and then Kobe was just Kobe. But I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of who I'm like emotionally attached to in terms of like what celebrity will hurt the most. Because like I feel like there's dozens of people like Kobe Bryant that if they passed away, it would be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So it's like, it wasn't like Kobe was special to me any more than like I appreciated how great he was. But
right.
Yeah, Kobe was the suddenness, and similar with Jose too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, I'm a Marlins fan, so that one actually felt real connected.
I'm usually not too affected by most of them, but when Tom Petty passed away, that got me.
Yeah, that was big.
He's a major reason for me. I've told the story on the show before, but reason why I decided I wanted to write songs. Even before the Beatles, it was Tom Petty that made me want to write music.
Yeah, and I would put Prince in the same category as Tom Petty in terms of my reaction to it. Bob Marley was big for me. He died right in Miami. And Jimmy Buffett was, I talked about this on the podcast. Jimmy Buffett really hit us hard to the point where your mom and I went to the 1 year later tribute for him in Key West.
No, I think we got the news of his death while we were recording an episode, or just before. It was a Saturday morning.
Yeah, it could be.
Like, I love how you're like, oh, so because of Jimmy Buffett's passing, we had to spend $30,000 to go to the Las Vegas show that,
or to
like,
go to the Hollywood Bowl, and then and then to Key West. Yeah,
like 10,000 people were there, and it was like one of the most exclusive concerts in history, and it was just a real burden that we had to.
It was a real burden as I continue to spend my son's inheritance with eagerness.
But not many. Dave Grohl would get me.
Yeah, that is good.
I go a generation older because all of my guys are lined up to die, if I'm being honest. McCartney, Mick Jagger, Elton John. I mean, they're going to go rat-a-tat-tat. I'm ready for it because they're in their 80s now. I mean, I just turned 70. I feel old. Most of my musical heroes are like 10 years older than me. Yeah, I'm prepared for that. But Brian Wilson, I just wanted to mention one quick thing, and I knew that he'd been in failing health for a while, so it didn't have that shock level that Jimmy Buffett did. But when I was 9 years old, I bought my first record album ever, a 45 RPM, a single disc, and it wasn't the Beatles or anybody else. It was a Beach Boys record. I remember on the A side it was Dance Dance Dance, and on the B side it was a song called The Warmth of the Sun. I found out later that The Warmth of the Sun was written on the day that President Kennedy was assassinated as a response to that. Warmth of the Sun, a very, very slow, mournful song. And I didn't know that until much later in life. But yeah, your mother and I, Christopher, went to see the 50-year anniversary reunion tour of the Beach Boys a couple of years ago.
Another burden for you guys.
It was sad, though, the way the Beach Boys ended up, because Brian Wilson and Mike Love did not get along.
They didn't love.
Well, Brian stopped touring with them in the mid '60s. I think even pre Pet Sounds, he wasn't touring.
And then Uncle Jesse took his place.
John Stamos. He was on drums though.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's get off mourning for dead.
I am interested. I kind of want to go the other way now of celebrities that if they died, we'd be least affected by.
Coach K.
Coach Shashet. Wow,
that would be a day of celebration for me.
Oh my God, what a horrible thing to say.
Oh God, you don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I have, and I will again. I'll say it again. I'm not saying I wish for him to die.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
No love lost.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Carrot Top. I don't know. I'm guilty even nominating somebody for that category because.
Oh man, Carrot Top's like a friend of Dan's, like a friend of our show. Like,
right, you were on stage with him in Vegas.
I can't believe you just did that to Carrot Top.
I know. I'm sorry. I take it back. I love you, Carrot Top.
Now we need to get him on the show to address this horrible thing Greg just said.
Yeah.
No, I because Christopher put that up to me. I'm trying to think of somebody who I would not.
I love
be mournful if they died.
I love how I clearly suggested a ridiculous game just as a joke, and you two played it. I'm not saying a name. You guys are like.
I know you're right. You're right. But I want to get off dead musical artists and go to the biggest musical artist on the planet and congratulate Scoop Cote, not me, but Christopher, who broke the news worldwide that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, parenthetically, attended Panthers playoff Stanley Cup final game 4 in Sunrise, Florida. You broke that story. How'd you do it?
Well, I will not reveal my source here, but I know people with the Panthers at that arena.
Yep.
And I got word that there was a special suite being prepared.
Okay. And I happen to know who your source is, and it's a very good source.
Why are you can you shut up? Let's leave. Like less is more here. Let me seem very cool here.
Okay, that's all I'm going to say. It was a good news break by you.
Yeah.
I mean, people in the press box were coming up to me. Did you know that Chris broke the story as if it's real news? Broke the story of Taylor Swift attending the Panthers game. I mean, you thought the scoop on Jason Taylor pounding the drum, and he did an okay job, by the way. He was fine.
He wasn't good actually, because he got caught up in the air, because the way they do it with the Panther drum is you do it like it's either 4 or 5 times. It's never the same. So it's always based off the vibe. And you can always see the guy who works for the team behind the drum being like, one more. And I think what happened was on the 4th one, Jason kind of like did his like big flex. Like that was it. And I think then he saw like a one more, so then felt like he needed to do. And then after his big flex was like, oh, one more. And then there was like a forced last one.
Yeah.
It was just like,
he stopped and started.
You gotta run through the one more from the nerd with the headset on and just like end on your own terms with your flex. But
that's true.
What if they paid like an intern to like have to, no more, and they have to like jump in front of the hammer to stop it?
Yes, to stop
they
them.
said
Like,
no more.
Now, yeah, I don't know. The Dolphins, they keep picking Dolphins, and the Dolphins, I believe, are 0-7.
Are they really
doing drum? Former or current or former Dolphin players.
Oh my God! Did Le Batard win? I can't even remember. Is he 1-0 or 0-1?
I think we won, but I don't remember. I don't remember. I feel like if he would have lost, we would have made a bigger deal of that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember it ever coming up, so I think we might have won.
I think the worst ever was Jack Nicklaus, but
no, he was great. I'll fight for Jack Nicklaus to the day that I die.
Really?
Yeah, because he wasn't hard, but he had the tap and the rhythm of it down like better than anyone ever.
Yeah. I was about to say I thought he was great for 85 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think we'll get into the Panthers a little later.
Panthers won 2-1 against the Lightning, March 3rd, Le Batard Day.
Good. Yeah.
Good for Dan. All Le Batard on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to come back later in the episode and talk about the Panthers game 5 and
I want to say that I'll hope, like, we'll see if I'm right later in the episode. I hope. Oh wait, no, we're not going to be. It's game 6. We're talking about game 5. My bad, I got confused for a second. Right. I was thinking that we were going to have a home game before our next, but yeah, sorry.
Right.
The next, just edit that all out, Yeti.
I
don't know. Yeah, here's the thing about our podcast: we never edit out the embarrassing stuff.
Oh, we do when it's us. We leave it for you.
Right.
Okay. All right. That's fair. By the way, I am debuting a new segment in today's episode. It's called...
And you're debuting a new microphone. Look at you.
I am. This is crazy.
I mean, you're going to lean back and not talk into it, but yeah, nice.
Well, when I get too close, I still get that sound in my ears, which means I need new headphones.
That's because you have $2 headphones. We've ordered you new ones.
But before we move on, I want to say one thing here, and I'm holding it up. This looks like a square hockey puck, right? Emblazoned with NHL. I want to thank the National Hockey League for giving me this as an award for covering the NHL final. And I had no idea what it was. To me, it's just something electronic. What the hell is it? It turns out it's a Bluetooth speaker. And I have hooked it up. I found out what it was. I taught by Googling it, I taught myself how to hook it up to my iPhone. This thing is powerful. But the thing it really
go ahead.
The thing it really made me wonder is how would the game of hockey be different if the puck was square like this instead of round? And I'm serious with the question. How would that affect the game?
A lot. I think it would make dribbling, essentially hitting the puck, merely impossible.
Well, you've still got 4 sides instead of an infinite side. You've got 4 sides.
But it would be hitting all the corners and like bouncing. I mean, I'm sure that people would adapt and get good at it, like as much as you could. But I think you would see it. The sticks would have to be wider to like control that thing because it would be popping up. Like with how thin the sticks are now, it would be impossible to like go at a like McDavid type speed and control that thing.
That's probably true.
2 things on that. The NHL missed out. Why did they give you a round speaker? Make a puck-shaped speaker. Good grief.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, like they make them. They ordered this from some like company that mass produces promotional items. I'm sure they have circular. I've been given a circular Bluetooth speaker. 2, esteemed journalist Greg Cote accepts a gift from a league that he is covering.
I'm proudly flaunts it.
Proudly flaunting. I'm a journalist.
I don't even think my dad thought about that until you just said it, Yeti.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeti did get that, and I have no retort except to tell you how things have changed over the years.
Retortarella.
Now we're for sale.
No, the media have always been given gifts at major events. Like in my garage, I must have a dozen or 15 Super Bowl satchels or whatever, computer bags.
Right. There's always giveaways, and I guess they've gotten better throughout the years. But I want to say there is nobody in this world. We talk about being the Michael Jordan of something. My dad is the Michael Jordan of not like having Bluetooth speakers and then never being able to connect to them ever again.
We have documented evidence from the most recent PFPI gala.
I'm telling you exactly. He has in his garage or game room of Kuros, I'd say 4 to 5 Bluetooth speakers.
It's true.
And he can't connect to any of them.
I was surprised he didn't recognize that, hey, this is a Bluetooth speaker. As soon as he held it up, I was like, that's a Bluetooth speaker, and you're in awe.
Right now, my dad is a rejected lover with Bluetooth speakers. So right now, the first one that connected to him, he's like, God, I love this thing.
Yes.
He's like, I want to marry this thing.
Because I
Look at
was
him.
able to
He
do
thinks
it myself.
he's so lusting for this Bluetooth speaker that he thinks it's good content just to tell us, hey guys, look, I have a Bluetooth speaker. You're so like seeing like red right now. You're so horny. You're so horny for this Bluetooth speaker that you thought it was interesting content just to be like, hey guys, I have a Bluetooth speaker.
I have to admit that I was so thrilled that I not only received something I needed.
Admit you were horny for it.
Horny, you got to define what that means. It's not always sexual.
Please give us our cold open.
No, I'm not going to say that I was horny for a speaker.
Boom.
I mean,
got it.
No, I mean, that's not, I said the opposite. I'm not horny for a speaker. Am I thrilled to get it? Yes.
Got it.
I do have a little bit of wood right now. I will admit that.
Okay. And you thank you, the man who keeps on giving.
Okay. But I want to get to this new bit of mine that I worked up. I'm very proud of it.
Oh, no.
It's called,
Yeti, make imaging.
Yeah. This is the new recurring segment called Worldwide Randomness of Life. Okay?
Worldwide
Randomness of Life. WRL. Whirl. I love Google search because no matter what you're searching for, it gives you what the top 10 trending topics are internationally. And so on a rotating basis in real time, you know what the world is thinking and Googling and interested in any given time. And that concept fascinated me. So
on what like is this on Google you're doing this from or?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know on like X and stuff like that is curated to you. Like, sometimes I'll see like I'll see Stugatz is trending and it's like, okay, that's just him in my world. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Stugatz is not trending in London.
Right.
I love how you're like the Greg Cote show was trending worldwide.
Right.
Chris, drink some water.
Me?
Good grief, drink some water, man.
Now
I literally am drinking water. Do I sound bad? Sorry.
Now I've got my recent searches. Why don't I view all here? Okay, I have it now. Okay, I have what's trending internationally. Okay. I'm going to list the top 10 items, and I want you guys to tell me what, if anything, interests you to talk about. And I think Brian Wilson is on here. We're not going to talk about him because we already did. Are you ready? I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. Taco Bell crispy chicken. Republicans versus Democrats baseball game. Cyberpunk 2077 update. Hank Hill Fortnite skin. National League West. Canada fighter jet purchase. Costco brunch meal review. Tornado warning Hayes County. Caspian Sea, New Island, and Pittsburgh Steelers.
You feel good about this?
No, none of them interest me.
Well, if only you could, and you typed those out.
No, they're on my phone. I did not type them out, thank God, because they change every second. But I was thinking we'd get something good.
I want to talk about the NL West, Dad.
It's ridiculous.
Pirates.
I mean, the first one all I have on Taco Bell chicken nuggets is Joey likes them.
That's good commentary.
Yeah,
I like that.
And I was just like, there's no way they're good. And he's just like, they are. I was like, wow.
Okay, this has been a spectacular failure.
Actually, this honestly was great.
Okay. Because in storyboarding this in my mind, I pictured that out of a list of 10, there's bound to be one or two that genuinely interest us. I think we just got a bad batch.
I'm disappointed that the story wasn't Chris Cote reports Taylor Swift was at the final game last night.
It should have been. Or, Panthers fire Paul Maurice, which hasn't been announced yet. I'm breaking that story. I'm just kidding. They lose one game, and now I'm making a joke about Paul Maurice.
Well, they also played game 5, so we don't know how that happened yet.
That's a good point. I think we should do dad jokes, 3 facts, Jack, gripe of wrath, and herb top 20 countdown.
And then we'll talk some sports. Let's do it.
Okay. Dad jokes.
He's always kind of thinking that his puns are in vogue. He cracks himself up like an egg with a yolk. And now Chris's morale is broke. Dad jokes.
Guys mowing my lawn.
Hey, baby.
Number 3. Why do crabs never give to charity?
Baby.
I heard what you said. I just chose not to go there. Okay, a guy's mowing my lawn. I get it. Okay.
Greg, because they're penny pinchers, or they pinch pennies.
Christopher, why do crabs never give to charity?
Sure.
They're shellfish. They're shellfish.
That's good.
Number 2.
I feel like that was an obvious one. We let
Why
go.
did the Invisible Man turn down the job?
He couldn't see his future there. Or they
I'll give
couldn't-
you half credit.
Couldn't see himself there.
He couldn't see himself doing
there,
it.
yeah.
Okay. Number 1. What do you call it when Batman skips church?
Bad man.
Christian Bale.
Oh, Christian. I like that one.
I had a feeling Yeti would like
That's
that.
good. That's good. That's really good.
Next time Yeti needs to miss church, he's gonna be like, "Hello, honey."
I'm Christian Bale.
Okay.
Do you think an invisible man actually can't see themselves, or like the invisible man can't see himself?
That's a question I have never pondered. I'm
No,
not
he
sure.
can. He can. He's the only one that he looks in a
You'd
mirror.
think so.
Yeah.
But it's something I've never thought about.
Okay. 3 facts, Jack.
There are 3 things that interest him, so sit right back for 3 facts, Jack.
I'd love for the first one to be an invisible person can see themselves.
Yeah. That would be great. Number 3. The medical term for a runny nose is rhinorrhea.
I'm not mature enough for that.
Number 2. The most commonly fractured bone in the human body is the clavicle or collarbone. Quick story about that. Greg Cote is being pulled in a little red wagon by Dick Cote, who takes a corner too fast. I think this may predate 1440. And the wagon tips over and Greg Cote breaks his collarbone.
You were 3, right? Something like that.
I was too young to remember. I don't remember it, but I know it from having been told it. Have we ever talked to Uncle Dick about that?
Yeah, about 3 months ago. Shirtless Uncle Dick, 3 or 4 months ago.
Does he own up to that story?
He did.
Okay, all right.
He said it might not have been a red wagon. It might have been something even more dangerous, but something like that.
Did you know that?
He's pulling me in his Corvette.
I just looked up, like, with Google AI, like, can an invisible person see themselves?
Yeah.
It says the classic paradox often explored in science fiction from a purely scientific perspective. If a person were truly invisible, they would also be blind and therefore unable to see themselves. I didn't know that if you're invisible, you're blind. It says down here, like, goes on, the problem for the invisible person, if light passes through or around an invisible person, it means no light is reaching their eyes either. Their retinas, which are responsible for detecting light, would be receive no input. I don't know. I mean, obviously this is ridiculous, but AI is saying that they can't see because they're blind. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a very complicated answer to a ridiculous question.
Right.
And I before I move on to number 1, which is
and when
really
I say
interesting.
AI, that means that was Allen Iverson. I text him. I like have his number. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Before we move on to number 1, I want to tell you a fact that interested me that I researched. And like the thing you just said, the reason I didn't use it is it was so complicated, the science behind it. What I was curious about is how come birds don't die when they sit on electric wires that would kill other people? And there's an answer to that, but it is so scientific and deep and complicated that I'm like, I don't want to go there. So that's a little behind the scenes.
Grounded the way they clasp on it grounds them and they're fine.
It's something like even more complicated.
Also, like,
it's crazy.
Those lines up there, like, we would at every moment touch those and get electrocuted.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
This isn't.
In fact, if one of them falls on a moving
First
car,
of all, relax, guys. There are definitely wires out there where it's like, unless they're like being waves are going through them at the moment, like, you know, come on here.
okay.
Chris is not a Wichita lineman, Greg.
Yeah. I am a lineman for the county.
Guys, I've seen, like, sometimes, like, they're going up from the ground and it's like, I could touch that right now. You're telling me if I touch that line, that's like they're around these I could take. I'm gonna by my dad's house. I will take a picture of a line that goes up from the ground where
I
it's
don't
like,
know what you're talking about.
okay, I'll take a
Those
picture.
those are wires that will kill you at any touch unless you're a bird.
Okay.
Number one.
We're obviously there are obviously a lot of in this world. There are different types of wires out there. Like you guys are talking about the high wires,
Right.
that I'm talking clearly about something different.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you a picture of it though, both of you.
Okay. Number one. I did not know this. Apparently, it's come to light fairly recently. Aging singer Rod Stewart, 80 years old, is training to break the world record 100-meter dash time of 14.21 seconds for someone his age. Picture Rod Stewart singing Maggie May while he's running at the top of his lungs, running top speed in a field in his backyard.
If he's able, that it would take him longer to do that than the experience upon which Maggie May is written, from what I understand.
Okay.
You're even saying Maggie May. Rod Stewart's one of those famous all-time singer people that I don't know a single one of his songs. Like I feel like every other big name artist,
Really?
you could throw at me. I could at least name one of the hits, or it's like, oh yeah, this guy did this or that. But like Rod Stewart, like,
wow.
like even when you say Maggie May, like go ahead, sing that song for me.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you.
Nah, nothing.
Okay. I didn't sing it very well, but
Give me another hit.
How about do you think I'm sexy? Do you think?
If you want my body,
Okay.
and you think
I know
I'm
that song.
sexy.
Okay.
I like that song.
Yeah.
How about you're in my soul, you're in my heart.
You're in my heart, you're in my soul. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in my
No.
heart, you're in my
No,
soul.
don't know that one.
Okay. Pretty
That-
popular singer.
That second one I like. That's a good song.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's probably the worst song he's ever sung. Do you think I'm sexy? Just
It's
awful.
kind of like poppy.
Okay.
Like, right? It's like a pop song, like very like.
Oh, very, well, no, it that was in the disco era. That's when all the major artists thought that they had to bend and subvert their integrity for disco, and that was his version of that. I want to do Gripe of Wrath right now with a disclaimer. I think I have brought this up on the air before, but never in Gripe of Wrath format. So I don't want you guys to be interrupting me one sentence into it saying, you've done this before.
Annoyances, complaints. Greg's got grievances out the ass, so buckle up, Buttercup. It's time for Greg Cote's Gripes of Wrath.
Remember,
Coughing.
no interruption. You know how grocery stores have express lanes for those buying just a few items? They should also have designated slow lanes for shoppers who insist on using coupons or paying with a check. I must summon every ounce of willpower to suppress a loud, exasperated groan as a woman in front of me slowly fishes through her luggage-sized purse and hauls out a fistful of coupons or a checkbook. Hey, lady, let me give you a couple of dollars here to save time with those 9 coupons. Now let's move on.
Is that it? Are we allowed to talk now?
I'm not done yet.
I love his new camera follows
It
him
would
when he
be
coughs.
as horrific it would be to catch it on air. Like my dad going out just complaining about something like that would be like
Yeah, it'd be good for downloads if I died during the recording of a podcast, to your point. In closing, heaven forbid that the checkout girl DQs a coupon for being expired and declines to award the 10 cents off on cat food. Now the store manager is coming over to referee and de-escalate the situation. And who still writes checks? You ever heard of a debit card? Step into the 21st century and step out of my lane.
First of all, okay. This is so like not once again such a bad look for you. Like first, like you have like, you know, Mr. Moneybags over here. Like you should give if like these people that use coupons need to use coupons because they're trying to save money. Like you realize that, right?
I don't know about that.
And first of all, and I think this is just outdated. Like my wife, Target, big coupon person, but it's all like on their phone nowadays. They all have like their accounts to these stores. Like no one's actually in their pocketbook pulling out coupons anymore. Like
It happened to me 3 days ago.
Undoubtedly, Greg is taking out someone who's like 93 as well.
Like the checkbook too, even I'm like kind of calling like I can't remember the last time I saw somebody like paying with a checkbook or pulling out like old fashioned like newspaper coupons.
It happens. You have to trust me. And it tends to be an older woman.
Greg, don't you typically get to choose the line that you step into?
Yes.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't know until I judge the line I step into by how many items are on the belt, right? If it's only a few items on the belt, I'm there. But then the woman in front of me is about to pay and I see her reach into her purse. And it's like a death knell because then I know that something's happening. Or the other one is the woman who just is befuddled by how to use a credit card.
Doesn't have to always be a woman. All right. I hate to be the Dan here.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like, I mean, you're just
okay. But if
Greg's experience, that's who he runs into.
If the last two or three times I'm imagining this happening to me, it's always been stereotypically, I'll admit, an older woman.
It's Auntie Arlene.
Yeah, Auntie Arlene, exactly. God rest her soul. Okay, let's do Herb Top 20 Countdown.
The Greg Cote Show with Greg Cote presents Greg Cote's Top 20 Herbs. Here's Greg Cote with your Herb of the Week.
Okay, number 20, Acmella oleracea, the toothache plant. 19, Hall of Fame cornerback Herb Adderley. 18, non-irradiated bay leaves. 17, 30th U.S. President Herb Hoover. 16, 60s movie about a VW race car, Herb the Love Bug. 15, 60s jazz pianist and composer Herb Hancock. 14, Aaron Rodgers' favorite hallucinogen, ayahuasca. 13, 60s and 70s TV actor Herb Edelman. 12, the king of herbs, basil. 11, the Miracle Man, 1980 U.S. hockey coach Herb Brooks. 10, the herb symbolizing long-lasting love, rosemary. 9, Los Angeles Chargers quarterback Justin Herb. 8, the herb salsa dip cannot live without, cilantro. 7, world's most expensive herb, saffron. 6, NHL top career goal-scoring herb, Herb Kane. And now,
Top 5.
Wow.
we're entering the top 5. Rarefied air. Number 5.
Herbified air.
Perhaps the most misidentified of all herbs. Many think it grows on trees, but in fact it is a plant and botanically the world's largest herb. Also very appealing, it's a banana.
What?
A banana is an herb.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Look it up.
I mean,
I
Yeti's
am.
typing away. I was about to do it, but
See, one of the things that I didn't know,
Wow. Distantly related to ginger.
isn't that amazing?
really?
Yeah, according to
I try
PBS.
I'm spitting the truth here. I'm trying to inform. I'm trying to educate people with the Herb Top 20 Countdown.
Since the plant has a succulent tree stem instead of a wooden one, a wood
Right.
one,
Baby.
it the yellow thing you peel and eat is in fact a fruit, and it contains because it contains seeds, the seeds of the plant,
How about that?
and because of its
So it can be a
Succulent
fruit
tree
and
stem.
an herb. It's an herb and a fruit
verb.
It's an herb.
and a fruit.
Well, botanically, it's classified as an herb.
Yeah.
So you're saying these are
That
two
is-
different categories, so they can be both.
Well, I mean, everybody thinks of it as a fruit. I always thought of it as a fruit.
So you're saying
But-
it's not a fruit. Like, why won't you say that
Oh, see,
sentence?
here's another site. I'll trust PBS over vinmec.com, but it's saying that bananas are berries.
What is a banana?
Okay, Google
I'm
the
just-
phrase.
Oh, and okay, here's another one. Garden Betty says why a banana plant is actually an herb and a berry.
Okay.
So playing both sides.
Okay.
I'm
yeah,
seeing, all
that's-
right, AI, Google AI says a banana is an elongated, curved fruit, typically yellow when ripe, that grows on a giant herb called a banana plant.
Okay. There you go. Okay. I'm gonna qualify my number 5 herb as an herb then.
I love that, Greg.
No, it's an herb. Like
I
it could
love
be
that,
both.
that you really, I would have never guessed a banana. That's great.
Yeah, no, it surprised me. I'm doing my due diligence here, that kind of thing.
Now,
I really
you
am.
were flying by the seat of your pants. Do you have the top 5 built out?
No, I'm doing it week by week.
Like, this is such a terrible thing to admit. Like,
Why?
you realize what a horrible way to doing like the best herbs of all time. Of just like, I'm
No,
just
I
kind of
built this
winging it
list
week to week.
in the back bedroom of 1440
Wouldn't
back
you
in
think, Dad?
64.
Wouldn't you think that you before you started doing your top 20, you'd gather 60 of them, and then you
no.
would rank them or eliminate some right away, cultivate 20, and then rank those, and you're like, this is my top 20, as opposed to like, damn, I need 4 more of these things.
Okay, number 1, I am challenging myself to raise my game every week and to come up with something that crescendos with a beautiful number 1.
And banana's great, by the way. Banana
Thank you.
could have been number 1, honestly.
Well, a lot of things in the list could have been, but the other thing I'm really trying to do is toggle back and forth between actual herbs and people named herb. And I think, I'm trying to alternate those so I don't have like 5 guys named herb in a row or 5 herbs that you'd use in cooking in a row.
Now you're giving away too much. All right, you don't need to give away the whole. You don't need to give away the whole recipe.
Okay, the only thing I can tease you and say is that number 4 next week. Oh, I have no idea what it's going to be, but it's
I know. I was
great.
like, what?
It's just going to be great.
It is such a wild way to do a top 20 list.
I'm
Like,
a wild guy. That kind of thing.
But were you in for any of the Roy writing association stuff, Dad?
I was, to the point where I didn't want to pile on, but everybody was like, when's the last? What do you write? A tweet? The only thing he writes is a tweet. I mean, seriously, what is he writing that qualifies him for that?
Well, that's so you agree with Mike.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree.
Damn, why you gotta do Roy like that?
I mean, I'm Roy's. I'm the one working behind the scenes to get Roy on the Panthers Media Hall of Fame wall in the press box. Okay.
Well, he hasn't. Don't you have to cover them like every
10
game?
years. You have to cover them at least 10 years and be an important enough presence where people, think you should be on the board.
Just print out a picture and hang it up.
But I don't think he has. You should do that, and I don't think he has done it for 10 years yet, right? I mean,
I don't know. It's gotta be close.
Dad, I mean, no, he has not been a credentialed, like he's been a Panther fan for 10 years, but he has not been a credentialed, like going to covering every game for 10 years.
At any rate, I'm working behind the scenes to get Roy Bellamy in the Panthers Media Hall of Fame.
I get it. It's a nice save when you just said he doesn't deserve to be in the Writers Association.
He's not a writer. Come on. It's ridiculous.
We found the real affront. Greg has been seething.
I mean, I'm not seething, but
he's not a writer. He's kind of a seething response.
You don't put me in the Guitarist Hall of Fame. I don't play a guitar.
We had. I think this is a jerk move. Mark Kreigel on, the writer, the author who wrote on Mike Tyson on, and it was like right in the heat of this debate, and Mike was just like, so, hey, Mark, I wanted to throw something at you. Like, we had somebody who made it into a Writers Association for like some hockey Writers Association and didn't write their first piece until after being in it. What do you think about that? And he's just like, nowadays all you need is a cell phone to get into the Writers Association. And Mike's like, thank you, Mark.
I haven't seen Mike this fixated on anything for consecutive days in quite a while.
Yeah.
That is a little weird to make that the bone you keep chewing on,
And it's funny, like, to go after like credentials of something when Mike did kind of like swoop into like just being a reporter on things.
Yeah, I will say this: sports writers associations tend to be desperate for the money. Okay, and I'm not talking about the baseball writers because
not the association that I'm in.
Okay, that's a prestigious association that votes for the Hall of Fame.
Right.
The Hockey Writers Association, the football, even the Football Writers Association, they're begging you to join and to pay your dues.
Right.
I'm speaking from experience.
I get what you're saying. So you are rightfully so looking down from your high horse from the Baseball Writers Association right now.
That's correct. I'm on the back of Isla Grande looking down at anybody else. That's correct.
I just like the idea of you galloping in on your horse. You can name it whatever the you want. And it just being like, I'm from the Baseball Writers Association. Who wants to be in the hockey? Roy? You remember you're galloping the whole time. Roy?
Yes.
No, not a writer. And then you gallop off.
Yes. You know what? I'm not making it up. BBWAA is the king of all sports writer associations.
Wow. Gallop us off to break, Greg.
Yeah. You know what? We're coming back. Jack, to talk. We're talking more sports than usual. Not just Panthers, but definitely talking Panthers, who had maybe their biggest game of the season Saturday night.
Just toss to the break. Thank you.
Gallop away, Greg.
Second, I think. See you in a minute.
No galloping.
So we're back at you late Sunday morning, and I can guarantee you who leads the league in Happy Father's Day. And it's Paul Maurice and all the dads on skates playing for the Florida bleeping Panthers.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day, son.
Thank you.
Yeah, you turned out to be a pretty good dad, by the way.
You're not too bad yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you're 7 years in. You got a lot of dadding left to do, but you done good, kid. Very happy with your fatherhood.
Thank you.
That kind of thing. And enough of this sentimental stuff.
How about those f***ing Ice Cats?
I'm telling you what, they dominated Game 5, and Brad Marchand, first guy in NHL history to score at least 5 goals in a final for 2 different teams. And you know what amazes me about that? Brad Marchand is 37 right now. And he did it in 2011, which would have made him about 23. So he does this at the beginning of his career to announce himself as a budding superstar. And he does it again at a stage in his career when some people probably thought he was washed up, and he's proven to the world, here's my middle finger. I'm still as good as anybody in the NHL. And he's playing like that in this series. He's outscored you-know-who, Connor McDavid, Connor McOverrated, by 6 goals to 1 in this Stanley Cup final. And that's why the Cats have a chance to win on their home ice Tuesday night.
Am I crazy for thinking this that the Cats are going to win it in Game 7 in Edmonton?
Oh, gosh, I hope it doesn't get to that.
Would you have to go to Edmonton?
Bite your tongue. That has not been raised.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would probably not be my choice, but if asked, I'm sure I would. I don't believe I've ever had the pleasure of being in that lovely town. So I don't know if they'd allow me in.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe we have a chance to clinch at home in Game 6.
I know. That's a ticket right there. That's a ticket. 2 in a row is so rare. And I think I've said it before, but it bears repeating. The Miami Dolphins did it in 1972-73, before most of our listeners were born. And the Heat, the Big Three Heat with LeBron, did it in 2012 and 13. And now the Panthers have a chance to win back-to-back Stanley Cups. And the players, including Marchand, all the players say this is the toughest trophy in all of sports to win. And
of course, hockey players say that. I mean,
I know, but I'm not. Basketball players never say that. Hockey players do say it, and I think there's something to it, man. These games are intense. The Game 5-2 game, I didn't think was that close. Sometimes you play a 5-2 game and it's super close, and either team could have won. I didn't think that was the case last night.
So I actually had plans to go to a stand-up show on Saturday night for Game 5, 7:00 show. The game doesn't start till 8:15.
Yeah.
So, and this was one of those, the guy had a 7 and a 10:00 show. So I knew it was going to be over in the 9:00 hour. So I knew that I'd get out relatively early in the game, but I just had it. Like I would normally just cancel on that show and not go to it.
Right.
I had a feeling I was going to exit the comedy show and it was going to be 2-0 Panthers. I just had this vision. And what was it exactly when I got out of the first period, when we got out of the show? 2-0. Like I don't want to give myself credit.
Okay.
But as a superstitious fan,
yes, you are.
I saw the future and I accepted it. Like normally I would have been like, no, I can't go to this comedy show. I got to watch this game. But it just hit me Saturday morning. I'm like, I'm going to get out of the comedy show and it's going to be 2-0 Panthers. So I need to go to the comedy show. And I did it. And I hated it. I wanted to be watching the game the entire time. I was not laughing the last half of that show because I was like just thinking about the Panthers. And but I did my thing and they were up 2-0. So I feel slightly responsible for this.
I have to say that you having an accurate premonition about the Panthers 2-0 lead is less surprising to me than the fact that you didn't watch the whole game, that you went to a comedy show. Who the hell was this comic that you needed to see?
No, I mean, it was just like, it was more just like my friend bought the tickets months in advance. It wasn't even that the comedian was like someone I was like that strong. It was just like, I made a plan months in advance. It happened to fall on this night and I just saw it going 2-0. So I'm like, I got to do my part and go to the show.
Okay. So you did both. You feel good about that now.
Yeah.
Now, if they had lost last night, you probably would have been blamed by yourself.
Oh, if we were down 3, like I would have been pissed at myself. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was a great all-around game. The three players on the Panthers who have the chance to win the Conn Smythe Trophy as the final MVP, if they win it all, did well again last night. Sam Bennett with another goal, Brad Marchand with a couple. I thought Bobrovsky and Paul Maurice said this after the game. I thought Bobrovsky in the first 8 or 10 minutes of that game, really that was the inflection point, as Maurice likes to say, because Edmonton came out really strong and absolutely could have been ahead by 1 or 2 goals.
That's my favorite part of the Maurice press conferences is when we play like a dominating game and he's like, I really like their first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He'll always give you like a small part of the game. He's like, I liked that part. The rest of it was just a crapshoot.
Yeah. He says that all the time, and I love it all the time. I didn't like the first half of our power kill.
I really liked. I love how I have a good Maurice when the way he says "real." I really liked our third period.
He is so interesting to listen to. If you ask him a question, and he pauses for 5 or 6 seconds, he's about to come at you with a nice answer, with like a good quote.
There's a little Mike McDaniel in there, in that if the Panthers were shitty, I think I would find him annoying. But since we're winning, it's a chef's kiss. Yeah.
Well, he reads that team like a book. You know, he knows when to have a little smirk on his face. He knows when to lay into him and be serious. You know, he's got it going on, man. That guy. How was he not the coach of the year? He's taken a champion and made them better. Now I know that's Bill Zito for getting Seth Jones and Brad Marchand, but still, you see what a job he's done.
You see how the Panthers at the end of every game, all teams do this. They like give a puck, like a game puck, to someone to put it in the thing. You saw that Gadjevich, who got it the game before, gave it to the backup goalie for Game 6.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Just, I think, to be like, hey, you don't have to, like, this guy shows up to work every day. Like, I liked it. It was kind of just like I thought it was cool.
Well, the fact that Gadjevich got the previous one tells you that it doesn't have to go to the star of the game.
Well, that was the game where they won, like with the fight and stuff. Like Gadjevich was huge in that game.
Yeah, it was a split decision over Darnell Nurse, I thought. I mean, Darnell got a couple of licks in. Wow. Let's put it that way. Wow. That kind of thing. I want to talk about a couple of other sporting things, unless you got more on Panthers, because it's just nerve-wracking to wait for Tuesday, and it's all or nothing, because they're either going to raise the Stanley Cup or they're going to be packing for a Game 7 in Edmonton, and nobody's going to feel super confident about that. After they beat Edmonton in 7 games last year. Boy, Edmonton would have the momentum. I don't know. It's so nerve-wracking.
Isn't it like, don't you feel almost more confident on the road at this point? Like, I almost feel more confident in a Game 7 on the road than I do this home game on Saturday.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, they're 10-3 now. Let me look at the stats here. They are 10-3 now on the road, and they've outscored their opponents 61-31.
That's crazy.
It's insane. They're averaging almost five goals a game on the road. I'm speechless. I make a living putting words together, and I'm almost speechless by what this team has done, especially on the road. The Inter Miami game in the FIFA Club World Cup they played Egypt's Al Ali team last night, and it was a 0-0 draw. Okay. The goalie, apparently, obviously, I didn't watch it because I was at a hockey game or watching a hockey game. But Inter Miami's goalie apparently kept them in that game. But that's a disappointing way to start off this Club World Cup. I mean, Messi, he had played for Argentina in a real World Cup qualifier 4 days earlier, so he probably wasn't super fresh. But it's just Inter Miami continues to, I don't know, let us down a little bit on some of these big stages, from last year's playoffs to this tournament now. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Nothing. I don't even think it's a big stage. I mean, it's just like, especially with the Panthers, it's just a nothing burger for me.
Right. That's fair. And the Club World Cup this is the first year that they've tried to make it a big stage event with 32 teams. They do have some of the best teams in the world: Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. I mean, there are some elite teams in this tournament. Inter Miami, not one of them, but they have a chance to prove they should be, and they did not to start this tournament with a 0-0 draw. Any thoughts on the NBA Finals? It's all Thunder right now, right? It's crazy that
you mean Pacers?
No, it's all Thunder right now. The Thunder has struck. Okay, the
Really?
Pacers are going to lose. Now they're going to lose 2 games. It's going to be a 4-2 series. SGA is going to win the MVP, and he's going to establish himself as the new face of the league, even though he's in the Sooner state, which nobody cares about Oklahoma City, except the listeners from Oklahoma City. We love you guys.
It's been a Halliburton. I feel like it's been a Halliburton show so far. Like, I know that they won Game 4 and tied it up, but I don't know. I think this is a long series.
Do you?
Yeah.
I feel differently when the Panthers Edmonton series was 2-2. I feel it was legit. Like this is a close series. The NBA Finals at 2-2. I feel like it's all OKC at this point.
Where do you fall on the debate of when is it a long series? When is it a short series? Is there such thing as a medium length series?
I would say
a guy said on the Boost Mobile hot take line for the Lebitard show this week. This guy was like a 5-game series is a short series and a 6 and 7 is a long. Like, what? How is there no medium sized series?
Here's the official ruling by myself, the self-appointed commissioner of sports. A short series is 4 or 5 games. 5 games being the gentleman's sweep. A 6-game series is medium.
Okay.
That's sort of the default.
So it's not a long series. So a 6-game series is not a long series.
Only a 7-game series is a long series.
Wow.
Okay. And let's have no more argument about that. I have spoken.
All right.
Okay.
Deal.
Tell me about why the Heat should or shouldn't be going hard after Kevin Durant for a 4th time.
Well, they shouldn't, just because it's embarrassing that you keep failing to get him.
Right.
But they should, just because why not? It's fun. Like, who wouldn't want Kevin Durant for a year?
That's true. A year or 2. Let's face it. He is still really good. And I will say this. They are not Miami is not among the betting odds. But ESPN reported last night that Durant himself identifies the Heat, the Spurs, and the Rockets as the 3 teams he would welcome a trade to. Okay, so that alone, in this era where NBA superstars can sort of name their destination in most cases, if he wants to play for Miami, I think they have a good chance, and I would welcome it. He's still really, really good. He's that LeBron James type guy who just never seems to age. He's going to be 37 next month, just averaged 26.6 points. He's shooting threes better than he ever did in his career. He's just super good, this guy. I mean, he
Put it on the scroll, Greg Cote, Kevin Durant, super good.
Elite. I don't know that Durant gets enough credit. I really don't. He's not thought of in the LeBron, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry lane, and I think he should be.
Durant gets the great all around scorer of all time, but doesn't really. There's some I don't know what's happening where LeBron gets to be an all time great, and I feel like we only put KD as an all time great scorer. When you say a bucket getter, scorer, people put KD in that all time conversation, but he doesn't really. Maybe is it defense that he's slacking? He doesn't really get talked about in the conversation of all around great player.
No, you're right. That's fair comment. But I think if you can get Kevin Durant without giving up Hero or Adebayo, you've made a steal, Pat Riley. I don't care how many you give up all three of your first round picks, throw in Duncan Robinson and whoever else you have to make the salary cap numbers work, and get this thing done, Pat Riley. This is I'm getting all choked up. Pat Riley, Kevin Durant is your last hurrah. Wow. You're 80 years old now. This is the signing that makes people think Pat Riley still has it. The Heat are back. Wow. They have a chance to win a championship now. Do it.
This topic is really making people think.
Do it, Riley.
We're really getting out there on a limb here.
Yeah. Well, if I'm being
Pat
honest,
Riley, get the best player available.
No, the best player available is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And if we're being real, I would love the Heat to get Giannis more than I would love them to get Durant.
Oh, the best player available. You'd rather have than the second best player.
Yes, right. But I'm saying if you can get Durant and you don't have a chance at Giannis, then go for it with all your might. And this is maybe a majority opinion. I have no idea, but there are those who might legitimately say the Heat need to rebuild, and you don't do that with a guy who's almost 37 years old. I don't care how he is, how good he is. I disagree. I think if you can get 1 or 2 years of a still superstar Kevin Durant, you do it. There's no rebuilding anymore in sport. You gotta win now. That's why I object to the path the Miami Marlins are taking toward a tomorrow that never gets here. Anyway, I'm all talked out, kid.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Happy Father's Day.
No, happy Father's Day to you. Good job out of you.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to you. Good job out of you. Happy Father's Day to all my Padres out there. All my fellow Padres who I hope you enjoyed Sunday a lot. And I hope your enjoyment continues. Thanks for listening as always. And next week, we'll have the Stanley Cup.
So you're not wishing a happy Father's Day to any Dodgers?
Any draft Dodgers? What are you talking about?
I mean, you said Padres. So
Padres. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point by you. I wish a happy Father's Day to all the good fathers out there. If you're a lousy father, an absentee father who beats your kids,
Jesus,
I don't wish you a happy Father's Day because you're not a happy father. If you're a happy father with happy kids, happy Father's Day. Okay? Even though we come out Monday, so people have already forgotten about Father's Day. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Happy Father's Day to all the Diamondbacks out there.
Exactly. Bye-bye.